Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is Rev Trev, and today I'm pumped to talk about the Young Stars Classic. Absolutely love this tournament. A lot of people who went to this tournament said how well done it was. I mean, being in that Penticton V's arena is one of the best arenas in that league across Canada. It's got the huge scoreboard, it's got great seats. Every seat is amazing in there. I love watching games in there. I mean, the Vernon Vipers have another really great arena there as well, just up the road, about an hour away. And so here's the thing, like it's just a great atmosphere to be in the Okanagan. Weather was great. The whole thing was awesome. I just brought me back to all the years that I had gone there. And if you haven't seen that video yet about story time, please check it out. I tell a lot of great stories about players that I've seen in that tournament. And that's the thing about this tournament. It's so fun. It's not only you're going to watch your prospects, your young stars, but you're also going to be watching other teams' young stars. And I watched a lot of those games. And so, for example, in the Winnipeg Jets game, Colby Barlow was the guy that I was really interested in seeing, because in the draft, and you saw my draft videos, I talked a lot about Colby Barlow because he was highly touted. A lot of people in Vancouver really wanted him as well. I mean, we had 2 picks. We traded one for Hronek, but it would have been interesting to see if we had that second pick, who we would end up drafting there. But yeah, there was players like Barlow that was available. Now, listen, I love making Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. If you like that kind of content, hit the subscribe button, because I've got so much Canucks stuff coming out. It's crazy. The season's just around the corner, and there's some videos I'm going to make before the season starts that you're going to be absolutely shocked about my opinion on, and you don't want to miss it. So hit that like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know that my videos are out. So, but let's get into this tournament. So, Canucks in that game against the Winnipeg Jets were flying. In fact, part of it was we were so dominating. It was absolutely amazing. And just like we had dominated Calgary 7-1, let's go. We had 18 shots on goal in that Calgary game, and then had 18 in the 9 in each one, so it was another 18, so 36 shots. But in this game, what was really interesting was that we had 18 shots in the first period and 18 shots in the second period, and we absolutely dominated them, but we only ended up getting 2 goals. Now, Baines was one of those guys who was having himself a really good day. Played a physical, scored the first goal. Really, really solid game on his. The only knock that I had was I felt like he took the physicality too far. It felt a little bit like Evander Kane. Now, I know he's young, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I know he's trying to make the team, and so he needs to have some grit and some edge to him, so I get it, right? I absolutely get it. But at the end of the scrum, when he was down, everything's kind of ending. Ref was in the way. He gets up, and he just punches the opponent right in the face, gets a penalty. I just think that's just a dumb way to kind of get a name for yourself. It's like it's a cheap shot there, right? Now he might be saying, hey, listen, the guy was cheap shotting me, and I understand it's a game of emotions, it's fast, it's high emotions, but I think you need, in order to keep yourself in an opportunity to make the big club and that kind of stuff, you need to keep those emotions in check, because you can't just go on the penalty kill because of it, right? So now, when did that happen? At the end, I believe it was at the end. Yes, it was at the end of the period of the second period, and that's where things actually changed. Going into the third period, we got dominated in the shots, 14-3. It totally shifted momentum-wise as well, and so the Jets end up scoring 2 goals. Barlow got a second one. Now, Barlow was really quiet in the first and second period. Like, they talked about him a little bit, but I really noticed him in the third. But McDonough, in my opinion, was the best player for Vancouver in the tournament. He was absolutely, like, he was a sniper. I'm like, where has this guy been? And I know he's been in system. He played with us last year, but I'm really excited to see how he does in training camp and how he does in preseason. And does he have a shot at making the team? Like, that's how good he played in this thing. Now, I know he's not playing against NHL caliber people right away, so I've got to taper my expectations. But, excuse me, I just absolutely was amazed on how good he played. Now, Hirose also played at a great tournament. He had 2 assists on both of those goals. Ratu had an assist on the Baines goal. And but the only problem is we went into overtime. Canucks dominated all of that possession, and then all of a sudden, we started. It got really exciting. Both ends had scoring opportunities, going to shootouts, and this is when it got interesting. Vancouver shootouts were quite poor, except for the McDonough. McDonough sniped. That was awesome. But Barlow ended up tying up, and then the Jets end up winning. But yeah, so Klimachev, I don't know about him right now. Like Klimachev should be a guy. I thought that he was going to be the dominant guy in Vancouver, but honestly, McDonough was way better than him. Now, Klimachev had some stick handling that was absolutely amazing. He had some effort that was good. I mean, he was good, but I would not have said that he was in the top 4 guys on the Vancouver Canucks. In fact, I would have had Klimachev number 5. I would have him as number 5. So there were so many great Canucks. In fact, the Canucks led the tournament in scoring. In those 3 games, they scored 14 goals. The next best team scored 9. Like, that's how good our offense was. I mean, granted, we won 7-1, lost 3-2 in shootouts, and then we won 5-2 against the Oilers. Speaking of the Oilers, and I want to just quickly go to that game real quick, because I think there was a couple things in that Oiler game that really stood out to me. Now, we won 5-2, it was awesome. But the Oilers actually dominated us in the shots, doubled us in the shots, 10-5 in the first period. But there was a couple of guys that really stood out. Now, first of all, one of the guys that stood out in that game again, and all of our goaltending was fantastic. Lemieux, who played second half in the Oiler game. I can't remember who's the other guy who played in the Jets game. I was just there. Shoot. Anyways, is it Day? No, that's the goaltender for the Oilers. Okay, doesn't matter. We'll get there. I'll just look real quick here. I'm sorry, everyone. I apologize. Ty Young. Yeah, that absolutely great. Played really good. I was just really impressed. But the goalie that was absolutely stellar was Tolopilo. I think that's how you say his name. I'm really bad. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But he was impressive, like next level impressive. I loved watching him play, and I'm thinking, man, we've got this young and up-and-coming group of Canucks that I love to see. Now, not all these guys have been drafted, and on all these teams for these goalies, a lot of people were picking prospects and guys that were available, right? So, but Tolopilo was absolutely noticeable. Now, I remember going to Young Stars games where Demko was noticeable, right? Like, he was absolutely amazing. So I'm like, I get a little pumped about Tolopilo there. He looked really good. Now, the other guy that everyone wants to talk about is Hirose, and I think he had a great tournament, so don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't have him as the number 2 Canuck on our list behind McDonough. The guy I was absolutely mesmerized by was McWard. Now, McWard is a very interesting guy because I don't know a ton about McWard, and I know that he played 5 games for us last year and on the big club, right? He had 5 games, he had a goal in one of those games. I don't know about you, but that's impressive. Got his first goal as a Canuck last year in the NHL. He played 4 years for Tri-City Storm, okay, in the USHL, and then he played 2 seasons at Ohio State University, had 39 games, and had 9 goals, 12 assists, 21 points. I mean, I'm excited because he's 6'1", he's 192 pounds, and this kid, I'm like sitting there going, maybe we got a little of a gem here. Like the way he on the power play, And the way he shifted and moved, the way he created space, the way he got shots off, I was super impressed by him. In fact, he scored another goal. It was his second goal of the tournament, and it ended up being the game winner for Vancouver in the third period. Now, I'm impressed by him. Now, on my channel, not my channel, my YouTube, no, my Twitter feed, I asked people who are guys you want me to talk about, and of course Hirose comes up, of course McDonough comes up, but Sasson came up. Now, here's the thing about Sasson. He played on the top line. His top line minutes were pretty good. But like he's playing McDonough and Gatcombe, who, as you know, if you watch the Calgary video, that I really liked Gatcombe. He also stood out, but he was good, but he wasn't great. I was expecting a little bit more out of him. Now, granted, I don't know how many points did he end up having. He did okay. The center that everyone's talking about in Vancouver from this tournament is Ratu. Now, I actually felt like Ratu didn't have the greatest tournament. He was good, but he wasn't great. And he ended up scoring the overtime, not overtime, the fifth goal in the Oiler game. And I thought that was interesting. I guess people were kind of excited because they wanted to see him, that he was a little bit better skater, that he was involved in the play. But wouldn't you think that he was going to be the guy? Now, Walker is interesting because I believe he's related to Scott Walker. And I was like, and you noticed him in the tournament. So really liked watching him as well. So I would like to ask, who did you notice? Who got you excited? Here's the guys I got excited. I would go number 1, McDonough. Number 2, I had McWard. Number 3 was Hirose. Number 4 was Tolo Pilo. In net, he was my number 4, and number 5 is Klimachev. Those are my top 5 guys that I was absolutely impressed with. But I'd love to hear what you had to say about that. I'm going to training camp this Saturday. So pumped. If you're at the stadium, please check me out. I'm going to be there. I don't even know what I'm wearing. I might wear this beret jersey. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to wear, but probably just my blue Canucks hoodie. That's what I'll probably. But I'm going to wear my Kempner Canucks hat. So if you see me, please check me out. Say hi. I'd love to meet you. So longer video, but I wanted to make sure that I kind of did these games justice. I have a lot of excitement. I know that it's just a Young Stars tournament, but at the end of the day, I love seeing how well we were gelling, how good we looked, and I hope that this means that we have a better prospect pool than people are suggesting. I know that not everyone brought all their stars, and neither did we, okay? We didn't get all the kids because a lot of them are playing the NCAA. So, anyways, long story to say, thanks for watching. So glad that you're here. Hit that like and subscribe, and of course, always, go Canucks. Go!